Alright, hello. It's been a little while. I just thought that I'd make a short little video showing some of my favorite things and why I enjoy them, having them. And the first thing I'll do is show you my glasses. So these are glasses that are very low prescription because my eyesight isn't that bad. And I've had them for a little while. But as you can see, there's no sort of little nose thing in the middle. There's nothing to prop them up on my nose. And there used to be. But over Easter break, I went back home for the holiday. And my family's dog got a hold of my glasses and totally chewed up one of the little nose propper things. And since then, I took the other one off and sort of sanded down the middle there. So they sit a little bit uncomfortably on my face, and that's why I don't often wear them. I just don't really like the way they look sometimes, but I'm gonna wear them for the rest of the video because I think they look nice on camera. So there we go. Not too much glare, that's good. All right, next. So most of these, in fact, almost all of them are objects that other people have given me. And so that sort of fact alone that they are gifts gives them great significance to me. But first I'll start off with the few objects that are not gifts from other people. And this first one, I love this so much. This is my plant. It's a succulent. I call it Edith. That's a name suggestion from a very close love of mine. And I think this plant is so great. It reminds me of a nice flowing head of hair in a breeze or like a strong wind or something. And it's actually very soft and a little bit squishy. And I just got this and I'm really hoping that I can take good care of it. I got this at a farmer's market, and I went up and I asked the sailor, the merchant, I said, "Is this a good indoor plant?" And he was like, "Wherever you want it, it'll probably stay alive." And I said, "That's great for me." So I hope that that's true, and I hope it stays alive. I'll do my best to take care of it. Let me get one more. Good. Yeah, look at that. Look at the nice little, I don't even know. It's almost got many little fingers or something. It's very nice. You can see. Yeah, I really enjoy this plant. And next, so I'm a little bit sad about these. So I really like these two little pots. And as you can see, they're empty with the remnants of some dirt and dust inside. These used to hold two very beautiful cacti. And I got these cacti from IKEA about 2 or 3 years ago, probably 3 years ago. But unfortunately, as you can see, the cacti are gone. What happened? That window behind me, there's a bug screen in it, and the screen, that's the only window I have in this room. And so I would put my plants on the windowsill up against the screen, and I guess that little bit of pressure was just too much for that weak screen. I'm on the second floor here, and the poor plants, the screen came out and the plants went toppling over, and they smashed into some concrete below, and the plants were just scattered all around. And they'd already been through so much over the years, I thought, let them rest. And miraculously, the pots are intact, as you can see. And I think they're very special because of that. And hopefully I'll use them again for something else. Maybe another set of cacti or something like that. I don't know. And the last thing that is my own, that I bought, that wasn't given to me, is this picture here. And I think it speaks for itself, really. I just really like it. I think it's very cute. I looked at it from afar, and from a little bit away, it looks almost like a rotting pumpkin. And I suppose it kind of is a rotting pumpkin, but it's not mold, it's not any kind of, it's not it's just a little squirrel. A little squirrel that got in and is either hiding or waiting until the right moment to get back out. I just really think it's a beautiful picture. I think whoever took that picture, they had something special. They knew what was going on. Okay, so the rest are things that other people have given to me, and which I think are very special because they're gifts, and I think gifts are very nice. So the first is something that somebody gave me right when I moved into this room. And so I have a door that swings heavily shut, and it sort of slams if it isn't held open. And when I was moving in, I needed the door to stay open so I could bring my various things inside, you know. And so somebody said, oh, I know what will keep the door open. And they gave me this. This is a brick. And specifically, it's a Nelsonville block. And it's just a great, great door prop. And it also looks super cute. It's rather heavy, but it's also very smooth. So it doesn't scratch up my floor very terribly. And I like that it's got this engraving here on the side. And it also looks very rough on the top. It suits the purpose very, very well. I enjoy it. Next is a series of 3 very wonderful gifts from my friend Elliot. And I love Elliot. And Elliot gives me the nicest gifts. And the first, the first gift, well, I'll just show it to you. This is Tiffany. I've named her Tiffany. It's just a little rubber rat. And Elliot tells me that he has so very many of these little rats, and he just likes to give them to people. He gave another one to my friend Mary. And yeah, I don't think there's anything particularly metaphorical about them, but they're just little rats, and Elliot likes giving people rats. So if you ever meet Elliot, maybe he'll give you a rat. I think it's actually quite likely that he will, if he likes you, which, you know, I like you. I think he'd like you. So yeah, it's a little bit squishy. It's got some sort of, you can maybe, I don't know if the mic can pick that up. It's a sort of sand-like substance on the inside. You know, your typical squishy rubber toy. I just think it's great that Elliot likes giving people rats. Next is a picture that Elliot took of me, and I'll show that. It's a Polaroid picture. Maybe if it'll focus. I'm wearing, it's an apron kind of, it's actually a dress, I think, but I thought it looked a little bit like a toga. And as you can see, there's a bunch of flowers stuffed into it. And Elliot brought these flowers, and he took this nice picture of me. And I don't know, this was his idea to take pictures and for me to pose and have flowers and all of that. And I just think it's a very nice thing that he did, this picture day. And then my last wonderful gift from my wonderful friend Elliot. He gave these to me very recently. It's a pair of mayfly wings, or maybe a set, from Lake Erie, as you can tell from the title. And I think mayflies are terribly tragic. And maybe Elliot thinks that I'm terribly tragic as well. And that's why he gave me these. Or maybe he just thought they were pretty. Can you see them very well? They're sort of iridescent. Yeah, I think that comes out. Wow. What a good friend. I hope you have a friend who can give you nice things like this. It's very pleasant to just see these things around and think, Elliot thought of me and gave me that. And here are a couple other things that another friend gave me. And this friend, her name is Mary. And Mary, sometimes we drink tea together. And Mary brought me 2 types of tea, well, 2 bags of the same type of tea. This one is Bigelow Earl Grey tea, black tea. And I'm kind of hesitant to drink it because then I'll have no more black tea from Mary except for this other bag of Bigelow Earl Grey black tea. So if I drink them both, then they'll be gone, obviously, and then I won't have them to look forward to. I want to have my tea and drink it too. I want to keep it and I want to drink it. Maybe that's why she gave me 2, so I can drink one and keep the other. We'll see what happens. Thank you, Mary. And lastly, I have two very, very special notes from my good friend Elise, who's very small. The first requires a little bit of explanation, but I'll show it to you first. It says surprise. Let's see if you can see it. Surprise, hey Rockstar. So I found this little note in my French textbook when I got back home after a long, weary day in high school, and probably junior year or something like that. And so my little friend Elise slipped this into my French textbook when I wasn't looking. And it says, surprise, hey Rockstar. Surprise because I didn't expect it to be in my my French textbook, of course, but Rockstar, that's a reference to a story that I told her. When I was in first grade, I had a crush on a girl. Her name was Sarah. She had blonde hair. We were both about 7 years old, I think was the age. And it was field day. It was like the last day of school, and we were outside. We were getting crazy. People were spraying us with hoses. And I had my hair all wet, and I went over on the monkey bars, and I was like, hey, Sarah, check this out. You're going to love this. And I got up on the monkey bars, and I went upside down. And she was like, when you go upside down, you look like a rock star. And then I went back up, and she's like, now you look like a nerd. She's like, when you're right side up, you look like a nerd. When you're upside down, you look like a rock star. And I thought, man, I really want to be upside down more often so that she thinks of me as a rock star and not as a nerd. And I told Elise this story, and she reminded me of it very unexpectedly by leaving this note in my French textbook, and I thought that was great. I might take off these glasses. Not for any particular reason. And lastly, but not leastly, this is another thing from Elise that she made for me, which is Jack Evans is a good friend. And then there's some reasons why she thinks I'm a good friend. And I think, well, I'd read you all of them, but this video is getting pretty long. It's longer than I thought it would be. They are almost always longer than I think they're going to be. But also, I think it would be terribly narcissistic for me to just read out these reasons why I'm a good friend. Let me look through them really quickly, and I'll read whatever I think is not too narcissistic, maybe what sounds most interesting. She says, Jack is always willing to listen. I don't know what he responds with, but it is nice, and you feel better afterwards. Okay, I think I like that. I can accept that. She says, he may think he isn't always considerate enough. Perhaps it's true, but he's concerned over it, so Jack cares. I like that one. And then she also says, you don't have to worry about Jack spilling your business everywhere. Yeah, I keep my secrets. I'm no rat. And then here's a bonus one. Even though we're way over time, I usually try to stick at 10 minutes or less. But so from that very same high school period when my very small friend Elise gave me all these nice little gifts, I'll show you my 9th grade school ID. And so I tell you, I went to first grade, had that crush on Sarah and everything. That was the last time I was in public school until I was 14, until 9th grade. So I turned 14 in August. I get into public school. It was my first time setting foot in a classroom in like 7 years or so. And they take this picture of me. Look at that. Just think about that for a second. You can see me now, and you can see that I'm no longer this delinquent. Can you see that? No. Yeah, it's something else, right? Well, there you go. Those are my things and why I like them. I hope you have things and you like them too. And I hope maybe you'll meet Elliot sometime so he can give you a little rat. Or maybe you'll meet Mary and she can give you some tea. I don't know what Elise will give you, but maybe it'll be a surprise. And maybe it'll make you remember something that you told her long ago. Goodbye. Good night.